Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to take a very brief look at all of the content that's come with the part 2 of the movie collaboration superhero event. So there's some pretty nice rewards here actually. We have the login rewards, which are pretty good. You get 10 stones from the login rewards, which is nice. Some pretty solid stuff over there, and just generic login rewards afterwards. But yeah, always nice to get a nice little kind of big bunch of stones at the beginning. I think it is always very cool. So yeah, 10 stones, nice value there. Going until the 11th, so that's generally giving us an idea of when our next event is. Then we've got the special missions. Special missions again, pretty straightforward stuff. If I'm entirely honest, relatively straightforward. For the most part, you've got here, generic stuff. Completing missions, completing story attempts, getting some Dokkan event clears. Nothing too crazy here. No special requirements. All very, very straightforward. So trading in treasure, also not too hard with the new story event, which brings with it obviously some pretty valuable stuff. Then in terms of the actual events that have come with the movie collaboration part 2, some pretty relatively simple things. Obviously we've got some new Dokkan events for Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. I think most people will use those obviously just to awaken the 2 units. You've then also got the special banner for them as well, which is decent, and I would suggest something a little bit on it just because Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are so powerful. I think definitely be interested in something on them. Then we've got the Path to Ultimate Power event update that brings with it new farmable treasure currency. And then you've got some new missions for the Cell Max event to deal with finishing in a certain amount of turns, artificial life forms, and special pose category missions. So yeah, pretty simple stuff, I want to say. Overall, some nice updates. It's around 70 stones in total if you can complete the Cell Max event missions. If you can't, which probably most people can't, it's going to be 50. I mean, I don't even think I can. The story event got a nice update, 3 new stages, pretty simple stuff as well. Some good value there, some nice Kais and other currency you can earn, which I think is very, very good. So that's going to be a nice kind of touch from me. In terms of everything else, obviously remember you can exchange that treasure for some Kais, which is awesome. It's also going to count towards your missions. You'll find that currency under the barber shop, so you can trade it in there, no problems, or fairly straightforward. It's quite cool. It's a movie reference, so that's always fun, at least for me. Then in terms of everything else, obviously they did add the 2 new Dokkan events as well. If you manage to pull Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, you're going to need to do those events pretty straightforward again as well. So if you pull Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, make sure that you do those events. There's a separate one for each one of them. There's no banner units on them right now. So overall just pretty simple from that perspective. 4 stones there as well, so make sure you do that if you are desperate for some stones. And then finally we have the event details. We have the Cell Max event update, which I guess is pretty straightforward. Obviously Cell Max is incredibly hard for most people, but Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are very strong. So they've based these missions solely off the strength pretty much of Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 and the categories they lead obviously, but built largely on the back of having these 2 units. So when you look at these missions, they look impossible, but when you see how strong Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are, you're going to realize how crazy they are, like as units. So definitely is something you probably want to be aware of. Some big stones here as well, 20 of them, but again it is going to be very challenging to get your hands on these stones without Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So although they're there, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to get your hands on them, because it is very, very difficult. And then finally, obviously, there is the banner. The banner is pretty decent. There's the tech androids on there who are very strong. Tech androids incredibly strong. Follow that up with a pretty strong team in general. And then, of course, also you do have some tickets that you can pull for these guys on. It's just going to depend on how lucky you get. Maybe you want to resort to the tickets. I don't know. It's just going to depend on you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, Gamma 1, Gamma 2 being the big highlight units here. Both very strong, very good units. So it's going to be exciting to see how good they are in the game. Hopefully I can get my hands on at least one of them so I can run them as a rotation and make reviewing a lot easier for me. Otherwise, you know, that's just how it is. The rest of the banner looks okay. Tech androids are very strong. Tech Gohans very decent. The rest are probably all due in EZA, I would say. So take with that what you will. But I think having two such strong dual Dokkan Fests is pretty good. That's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Obviously, just as one big final word, you know, there are tickets, again, the Justice Incarnate packets. Generally speaking, people like to buy them because they're better value than stones. It's going to be entirely up to you. Get them if you want to. There's 2 packs. They have better stone value, but it's going to be up to you and whether you want to spend. But I'd just like to point that out because, yeah. But that's it from me. Cheers. See you next time. Bye.